Okay, we just finished 5 and 6, so now let's clear the page. Just kidding. Clear annotations, and then stretch this white space down so we have room to work on 7 and 8. This is page 92. Please use headphones. So let's look at this problem here. This is a fraction that is complex because it has a fraction inside a fraction. It's written vertically, so rewrite it horizontally and make it simple. Negative 3 over 7 divided by 9 over 4. Okay. This is the same problem. This is negative 3 over 7 divided by 9 over 4, and this is negative 3 over 7 divided by 9 over 4. Keep that the same, change that to multiplication, and flip that. Also, multiply by the reciprocal, same thing. Times 4 over 9. Steps for multiplying fractions: numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator, cross cancel if you can. 4 and 7, they won't cross cancel. 3 and 9, they will cross cancel. 3 divided by 3 is 1, 9 divided by 3 is 3, and then 1 times 4 is 4, 7 times 3 is 21, negative times a positive is a negative, so it's negative 4 over 21. $12 divided by 3/100ths, and the whole thing's going to be negative. Rewrite it, make it simple. Whenever you have a decimal in the divisor, you move it out. 1, 2 places to the right. Move this decimal also 2 places to the right. And now that's 12 divided by 3 is 400, but then the whole thing needs to be negative. Okay. A water pail in your backyard has a small hole in it. You notice that it has drained a total of 3.5 liters in 4 days. What is the average change in water volume each day? So it goes water by day. So we want 3.5 divided by 4. We make that simple and rewrite it. So you have 3 5/10 divided by 4. And now just treat it like 35. How many 4's in 35? Well, there's 8. 8 times 4 is 32. Subtract, we get 3. Bring down a 0. How many 4's in 30? There's 7. That's going to be 28. Subtract, we get 2. Bring down a 0, and that's 5, and we're done. So this thing is leaking 875 thousandths of a liter per day. What is the average change in water volume each day? So it's negative because it's leaking. 875, what is it? Liters. Per day. Okay. The price of one share of ABC Company declined. Decline is negative. 45.75 in 5 days. What is the average change of the price of one share per day? So it's going to be dollars over days. So set up your division problem. So it's $45.75 75 cents divided by 5 days. And now write it like you would normally a division problem like that. 45, 75 divided by 5 would be 9, 45, 0, 7, bring up the decimal 1 there, so it's 5, subtract, we get 2, bring down that, so $9.15 per day. So that's a loss, right? Per day. To avoid a storm, a passenger jet pilot descended is negative, 44 hundredths of a mile in 8/10 of a minute. What is the plane's average change in altitude per minute? So set up your division problem. You've got altitude per minute. Okay, so set it up just like that. It's going to be 44 hundredths divided by 8/10. And now rewrite it so that you're familiar with it. Use your regular division box. You've got 44 hundredths divided by 8/10. You have a decimal in your divisor, so move it out. And move this decimal over to the right one place and then put it straight up. Now how many 8s in 44? There's 5. 5 times 8 is 40. Subtract, we get 4. Bring down a 0. 5. So it's going to be 55 hundredths of a mile in 1 minute. So remember, he went 44 hundredths of a mile in less than a minute. So if he went for 1 whole minute, it would be more. It would be 55 hundredths. So he's descending, so that's a negative amount. Mile per minute. Okay, explain how you'd find the sign of the quotient. So do the division first in the numerator. A positive divided by a negative is going to be a negative. And then a negative divided by a positive is going to be a negative. Then you have negative divided by a negative is going to be a positive. So let's write some of that down. Okay. So let's cover this and use some white space over here for these problems. Okay, complex fraction. Rewrite it horizontally. 5 divided by negative 2/8. So 5 over 1. Remember, whole number divided by a fraction. Change your whole number into a fraction by placing it over 1. And then keep the dividend the same. change division to multiplication, and flip the divisor. This is the same as multiply by the reciprocal. So it's 5 over 1 times negative 8 over 2. Is there any cross-canceling with 5 and 2? No. With 8 and 1? No. So it's going to be, but you could simplify this. 8 over 2 is the same as 4 over 1. So this whole thing equals negative 20 over 1. Okay, whenever you're dividing a mixed number, change it first to an improper fraction. Okay, so let's do that. 3 times 5 plus 1. 3 times 5 is 15 plus 1 is 16. 16 over 3 divided by 2 times 1 is 2 plus 1 is 3. Okay, so you might see that and say, oh, cross-cancel the 3's. But don't do that, because you need to keep, change, flip. 16 over 3 doesn't change. Change division to multiplication. That negative, and that's going to be 2 over 3 now. 16 and 3, they won't cross-cancel. 2 and 3, they won't cross-cancel. So you're going to have negative 32 over 9 negative 32 over 9. Or you could simplify that to be 32 divided by 9 is going to be 3. 27 subtract, you get 5, so it would be 3. Negative 120 divided by negative 6. 12 divided by 6 is 2, so it's going to be 20. And then a negative divided by a negative is a positive. Okay, let's work this problem here. So it looks like they have a complex fraction. So work the complex fraction horizontally instead of vertically. Negative 4/5 divided by negative 2/3. Keep that, change that, flip that. Negative 4 over 5 times negative 3 over 2. Cancel the 4 and the 2 by dividing both by 2. You get 2 here and 1 here. So now it's going to equal negative times a negative is a positive. 2 times 3 is 6. 5 times 1 is 5. 6 over 5. Or 1 and 1/5.